Hello, my friend, and welcome to the study. Today, let's do some relaxing Latin participles. I know that participles can be rather complicated when they're encountered in texts, even though the mechanics are quite straightforward. So today we're going to revise a few of the rules. We're going to go through some of the mechanics of constructing participles, and then we're going to look at a few expressions and uses. So we're going to use our paper and our pens. So nice and slowly, we're going to look at Latin participles, and we're going to have a little fun, because don't forget the word participle. Participles are verbal adjectives, or it's a verb in the form of an adjective. They're only seen or used in the present active, the perfect passive, and the future active. You will notice that we have no perfect passive participles except in deponent verbs. So you will get something like locutus est, which makes sense because deponent verbs look like passive verbs. Let's have a look at the mechanics, how we will construct a participle. Let's take the verb porto. I carry, and go through our principal parts of this verb, porto. Portare, the infinitive to carry. Portavi, the perfect, and portatus, our participle, or you can say portatum for your supine. So here we have our four principal parts of the verb for to carry: portare, porto, portare, portavi, portatus. Now to construct our present active participle, we are going to use the second principal part, or the infinitive stem. Portare. And we're going to add on the end of that stem an N So let's construct a present active participle from portare. So we'll take the stem porta, and I'm going to decline these adjective endings in the order nominative, genitive, dative, accusative, ablative, and that's the only cases we'll do. Now the reason I use this order for a lot of declensions is because I like to have the nominative and genitive, because that's what you get in the dictionary when you look up a noun. The genitive ending will tell you which declension the noun is in. If you're used to using the nominative accusative order, by all means do that. I find the nominative accusative order very useful for pronouns. If you want to memorize your pronouns across the board, that's a good one to do. But ideally, you should be able to switch between both according to what you're working on, so that it stays in your memory. To be able to be a bit flexible there. So we're taking our infinitive stem portare, and we're going to add our third declension adjective, or now participle ending for our singular, portans, and then we go portantis, portanti, portantem, and the ablative portante. Now you'll notice that as an adjective ending, that's usually an I, but for our participle we're going to put an E. And our plural will be portantes. So you see the use of the T in there to make it sound more easily off the tongue. Portantium, portantibus, portantes, portantibus. And there you have your third declension participle endings for your present participle. Your present active participle, taking your infinitive stem, adding your N or NT plus your third declension adjective endings to match in number and case with the noun that this verbal adjective is modifying. We'll get to expressions in a minute. First, we're going to look now at how we form the perfect, passive, and future active participles. With these ones, we want the fourth principal part. Or what we have here is the participle. And to that, very simply going to add the us, a, first and second declension adjective endings, or for the future, our future particle plus us, a, Okay, would you like to decline that? Why not? I'll decline it and you can watch. So we have again our nominative genitive order, and we're going to go portatus and portati, portato. I think we've got to put the center a little. Okay. Let's get back on track now. Where were we? I used I and portato. Portatum and portato. And the plural. Portata. Portatorum. Portatis. Portata. Portatis. There you have the construction of the perfect passive participle in masculine, feminine, and neuter endings. What if we wanted to do our future active? We would just add our UR infix. Portaturus, portaturi, portaturo, portatorum, portaturorum, portaturo, portaturi, portaturorum, portaturis, portaturos, portaturis. And for our feminine future active participle, portatura, portaturai, portaturai, portaturam, portatura. Plural, portaturai, portaturarum, portaturus, portaturas, portaturis. And the neuter, portaturum, portaturi, portaturo, portaturum, portaturo, portatura, portaturorum, portaturis, portatura, and portaturis. Now that we know how to construct our present participle and our perfect passive and future active participle, let's practice some usages and expressions. So I'm going to turn the paper over, and you can hear outside on the roof a pigeon has joined us for participle practice. So we have alliteration, pigeon participle practice. Perfect. How do we translate or express a present participle in Latin? We use when or and. Many times we can use and with the same subject, making a second clause, and that's usually the clearest way to express a Latin participle phrase or clause. So for example, let's have Romani, Marcellum, ex equo, cadendum, viderunt. Okay, to work with this, I'm going to get a pencil. Let's look at each word here. We have our subject, Romani, the Romans. And we have our verb, viderunt. This is the perfect form of videre, to see, and it's in the third person plural. Imagine matching with Romani. So the Romans saw. What did they see? We have Macellum in the accusative. So they saw Marcellus. And we have another accusative here, cadentem. So we know that these two are likely to go together. And we have a prepositional phrase from the horse. Ex plus ablative equal from equus. What's cadentem? Cadentem comes from cado. Cadere. Cecidi. Casum. To fall. What have we got here? We have the NT that tips us off its present participle. If the third declension adjective ending hadn't already done that, so we know this is an adjective or an adjectival verb describing Marcellus, and it is a present participle. So the translation, word for word, the Romans saw the falling from the horse. Now that's our adjectival phrase, Marcellus. How many ways can we express this in English? What the Romans saw. They saw Marcellus falling from his horse. They saw Marcellus when he fell from his horse. Oops, there we are. Horse. Let's try a future active participle. So starting with our two actives, we've just done present active and future active. Navem. Romam. Navigaturam. Conspiximus. Navem. So that's our ship in the accusative. Navis. And Romam. Again in the accusative. We're looking for a subject. We have our verb conspiximus. First person, plural. Conspicere. So we've got we caught sight of in the perfect tense. We caught sight of. We have an accusative, navem. We caught sight of the ship. So third declension, singular, accusative. Did we catch sight of Rome? Probably not, because we have Romam, and that is, yes, the accusative, and will probably be to Rome, ad Romam. Romam, we don't need the ad with the city of Rome. So we've got to Rome. accusative to match with our ship, we have am. So remember, even though ship is in the third declension, it is still feminine. So we have our feminine accusative ending matching with nawim. Now we go, I sail. Navigare, to sail. And here we have tur, our future participle infix. Navigaturam. So how do we translate a future active participle? We translate it with, where shall I put this? Was or were, about to, or the about to, being about to do something. It's another way of saying the future in the past, because we are talking about something that happened in the past. We caught sight of the ship. Which ship? The about to sail to Rome ship. So we have Romam navigaturam, describing this ship, our adjectival verb and its object, indirectly to sail to Rome. We caught sight of the about to sail to Rome ship. We can put that in a second clause. We caught sight of the ship that was about to sail to Rome. So that's the one way we can do it in English, with a relative clause. We caught sight of the ship about to sail to Rome, so leaving out the relative and the verb, making it a prepositional phrase in English. Also describing ship. So a couple of ways to translate the future active participle. Let's do another one. To move the sheet up to the center. Alright. Hannibal. Milites. In Italiam. Discensuros. Confirmavit. Hannibal, very easy subject there. Confirmavit, so reinforced. We have our third person singular perfect ending reinforced. Alright. Discensuros. So discedere, to leave or go away, and milites, that's our accusative plural, so the soldiers. So in Italiam, so we have our preposition in and we have an accusative, which means into Italy. Discensuros, our accusative plural, matching with milites. Okay, masculine ending, milites in the third declension, departing. But we also have our future infix, so we need to use about to depart into Italy. soldiers. He's about to depart into Italy. Soldiers. So we'll say the soldiers and use a relative clause who were about to depart into Italy. Good. So here we have different ways of writing and translating the future active participle. Let's have a look at the perfect participle. How do we use and translate the perfect passive participle? Let's try a couple of easy ones. Okay. And this one probably has the most varied ways of translating in English. Let's go with milites. Oppidum. Capitum. Incendit. Derunt. There we are. Fix that a little bit. Sorry about that. Okay. Now we're ready. Milites. Nominative, plural. These soldiers. Incenderunt. Set fire to. Oppidum. Capitum. Here we have a neuter, singular. We have oppidum, the town. But we also have an adjective or our passive, our perfect passive participle. Capitum from capere. And you remember that capitus is our participle for the principal part. So we're using the first and second declension adjective endings, captum, and the captured town. The soldiers set fire to the captured town. How many ways can we translate that? We have one subject, and we can use a relative clause. The soldiers set fire to the town that was captured. When they captured the town, they set fire to it. The soldiers captured the town and set fire to it. Alright, so let's write these down. We have our almost word for word translation. Alright, we can say, after the soldiers captured the town, they set fire to it. Okay. We can say, when the soldiers captured the town, they set fire to it. We can say the soldiers captured the town and set fire to it. So different ways, many different ways you can translate these perfect passive participle phrases. You can make a second clause, relative clause, subordinate clause in your English sentence, whatever you need to do to make the meaning clear in English. You can use extra words and extra clauses, and English does love its subordinate clauses, where Latin favors participle phrases and ablative absolutes. Alright, one last one, I think, to send you off to sleep. Horatius in ponte positus impetum sustinebat. Horatius, standing on the bridge, was resisting the attack. We can say Horatius stood on the bridge, put it into the active, and resisted the attack. I would tend to favor this last one because it's most descriptive, and it is exactly what the Latin is describing, is expressing. Horatius in ponte positus impetum sustinebat. So we have a picture of Horatius all by himself on the bridge, resisting the onslaught. And that's what we've expressed by just making two clauses with one subject. Horatius stood and resisted. And there you have the different ways you can translate or express the perfect passive participle in English when you see it in Latin. So let's recap a little bit. We've learned that participles in Latin are expressed in the present active, perfect passive, or future active. To form the present active, we use our second principal part and our third declension adjective endings. For the perfect passive and a future active, we use our fourth principal part and us a endings in order to match this adjectival verb with the noun in number and case. Using and making two clauses is usually the most expressive, the most detailed, and the best way. And it will give you a more precise translation. I hope this has cleared a little bit of how to use participles in Latin, and that it has been relaxing. Now we've got a helicopter joining us in addition to the pigeons, but that just means that Latin participles are popular. If you have any questions, please do put them in the comments. I'm very happy to answer questions and help out in any way I can. Have a very relaxing day. Be good to yourself. Be kind to others.